Hey, what's going on, guys? This is JD Moon, and I'm coming at you guys with another Magicka DK build video. This is going to be for the Murkmire patch, as well as we are going to be going over the first set of the 3-set trilogy that I always release at every patch. And so this is going to be my first build video for this patch. This build is going to be the Burning Cloak of Ting. For all of you Buddhist or Zen followers out there, you guys are going to get a kick out of that if you know who Ting is. Anyways, so in this build video, we're going to go over sets, you know, of course, stats. Also, we're going to go over CP and kind of the general idea, or not really the general idea, but where you're going to be using this build at. You can use it in BGs. It works in BGs just fine. And you can also use it in open world Cyrodiil. Now, when it comes to dueling, I'm not a dueler, so I don't know if this build's going to work in dueling. Do I care if this build is going to work in dueling? No, I don't. As a matter of fact, I could give a shit less about dueling. It fucking sucks. Okay? And, I mean, all it is counterplay. Who gives a fuck? Anyways, moving on. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and dive into sets real quick so you guys can see what I got rocking and what we're doing with it. Okay, so on the helm and the shoulder, we're running 2 light Bloodspawn. One of these is going to be Impin, one of these is going to be Sturdy. Both of these are going to be max Magicka Enchants as well at gold. And then on the body, we're going to be running 2 pieces of Vampire Cloak. This is going to be our main mitigation set for those of you who don't know what Vampire Cloak is. It's going to give you 1100 max health, 127 spell damage. Now this is, keep in mind, I do have 1 purple jewelry on, so that's why that is where it's at. It would normally be 129 with right at, like, I think it's like 1200 health. Anyway, so 4 piece is going to give us another 1100 health, and our 5 piece is going to give us minor protection at all times, reducing our damage taken by a total of 8%. So in my opinion, this is kind of the best mitigation set kind of available to Magicka classes at this moment in time. I don't really think there's anything better. Now, so where I'm going with this is basically the only set that I would consider better than this set for mitigation would be Pariah. And in order for Pariah to work really well, you're going to have to sit at a really, really high amount of health. And on this build, we are not sitting at a really, really high amount of health. So moving on from that, so for on the body, we are running Burning Spellweave. So just real quick, both of these Vampire Cloaks are going to both be Impin. As well as we're running the Burning Spellweave, which, for those of you who don't know what that is, it's going to give us 1000 max Magicka. It's going to give us 129 spell damage, 833 spell critical, and then when we deal damage with the flame ability, you have a 15% chance to apply burning status effect. That's always nice to get a fucking random load screen in the middle of the video. Anyways, so that's going to give us a 15% chance to apply a burning status effect to an enemy and increase your spell damage by 525 for 8 seconds. This effect can occur once every 12 seconds. Now, for the traits that we have on all these, so 2 of these both are going to be Impin. Our helm is going to be Impin, Sturdy shoulder, and then we have a Sturdy belt, Sturdy gloves, and Impin boots. Now, for the jewelry, we're running 1 necklace of the Vampire's Cloak. That's going to be Arcane Transmuted with reduction cost enchant, as well as 2 Burning Spellweave rings. Both of them are going to have reduced spell cost as well. Now, moving on to the weapons, this is where a lot of my kind of counterplay to a lot of what's going on in the meta, or I guess you could say setting the meta for Mag DK, whatever the case may be. Because you guys know I run dual wield and sword and board. That is my favorite play style of Mag DK. So for that playstyle, you're going to be looking at a Nirnhone main hand and also a charged offhand. So a lot of people ask me, well, hey JD, how do you sustain with no sustain set on, blah blah blah? It's because I run charged on my offhand. That's why. So staves, the reason why they give so much sustain, it's not because they can give heavy attacks. Anybody who's good at the game is going to block that shit. So the reason why a stave is so good on Mag DK is because of this right here, this passive right here. So Elemental Force with 2 points in it, it's going to give you a 100% chance of applying a burning, concussed, or a chilled status effect. So that will stack with your natural burning. And for those of you who don't know why burning is so important on a Magicka, it's because of combustion. So when you apply a burning to an enemy, you restore 500 Magicka. So this is going to be a really big part of our sustain. This can happen every 5 seconds. So you're looking at right around 225, 230 Magicka recovery every 2 seconds, guys. So this is it's pretty huge. So don't overlook that. So that's how I sustain so well. All right, now back to what we have on for gear here. On our back bar, we are running a decisive sword and a reinforced shield. Now for the enchants on the main hand on the front bar, I'm running weapon damage and spell damage, and I'm running a crusher enchant to reduce physical and spell resistance. Also on the back bar, I'm running decisive with a Magicka recovery glyph. This is another way that I sustain, guys, so keep that in mind. Do get those light attacks in and get that extra sustain. And then also a reinforced shield, and I run that for the extra defenses because I run it in light. So this is a light setup. All right, so now moving on to stats real quick. Stats, we're looking at 37.3 on the back bar. We're going to go ahead and switch back over to the front bar because that's where all the juice is. So 38.3 max Magicka with 24.6k health and 15k max stam. Also with 1022 Magicka recovery. Spell damage is 2028 unbuffed. Now keep in mind, guys, so when you buff up, you're looking at right around 3800, and that's with the weapon glyph proc. Without the weapon glyph proc, you're looking at right around 32, 33-ish. If you have a buff from the resource, you're going to be looking at right around 30, I want to say it's actually closer to 4,000. So you're going to be looking at right around 4k spell damage fully buffed. So if you're playing this build properly, okay, the way I have this build set up is that you're only applying dots and you're not applying your burst until you get your procs. Once you get the procs, then you go in for the kills. So until that happens, you're just kind of sitting it out, chilling, hanging out, having a good time, just doing your dot thing, dot, and then go in and fuck them up. Give them the nice packing, as Fangrush would call it. Pack them up. Anyways, so spell criticals at 42.8, and moving on down here, we are running tri-stat food, and our Atro is the boon. So that's where we're making up for that extra recovery loss. Now, moving on to skills. Let's go ahead and dive in here. So skills, we have Flame Lash for our front bar. We're running Burning Embers, Talons, Fossilize. I'm actually thinking about changing this back over to fragmented rocks or fragmented whatever, you know, the fragmented bullshit. Anyways, the fragmented one. That's the not the fragmented one. The other morph of Fossilize is the one I'm talking about. Okay, I don't remember the name right now, but that is the morph I'm talking about because it does now show the damage on the tooltip, and I want to make sure it's applying the damage, which it wasn't doing last patch. Anyways, and we are running Inner Light, and that's going to give us that extra crit. It's especially important this patch now that they nerfed the crit modifier in the CP trees, as well as Shooting Star for the front bar. That's going to give us extra match Magicka, and it just synergizes really well with Fossilize. So that's why we run that. Now on to the back bar. We're running Coag, Reflective Plate, Volatile Armor, Structured Entropy, Cauterize, and Ferocious Sleep. Now the reason why I have Ferocious Sleep on the back bar, a lot of people will be like, JD, why do you have Ferocious Sleep on the back bar? Because I use it defensively. Okay, I very rarely find myself using it offensively anymore, and the reason for that is because 90% of the fucking time it doesn't connect. Okay, that's why I don't fucking use it offensively anymore. So until Zost fixes that, it's staying on the fucking back bar. All right, so moving on to CP. Here we go. All right, this is where shit gets juicy, right? Juicy. Anyways, we're running 56 points in Elfborn. We have 56 points in Elemental Expert and 46 points into Spell Erosion. And this is all in the Apprentice tree. Moving on to the Atro tree, we only have 56 points into Master at Arms, and moving on. And on our Ritual tree, we have 56 points into Thaumaturge. On the Steed tree, we're running 56 points into Ironclad, 29 points into Resistant, 56 points into Thick Skinned, 43 Hardy, 43 Elemental for that nice split for the 10% reduction. Running 43 points into Quick Recovery, as well as 1 point into Siphoner, 56 points into Warlord on the Tower tree. Over in the Lover, we have 56 points into Arcanist, we have 32 points into Mooncalf, and 32 points into Healthy. On the Shadow tree, we have 37 points in Tumbling and 56 points into Shadow Ward. So, and before I get the questions, because I know they're going to be coming, JD, are you a vampire? No, I'm not a fucking vampire. Vampire sucks. If you're running it, you should probably quit running it, because Dawnbreakers hit really fucking hard and they hurt. Okay? Some people run it. They like it. Me, personally, as soon as they gave me wings... As soon as they buffed wings, I said, hey, vampire. That's exactly what I said. So, and, you know, if you didn't hear this, I said, hey, vampire, fuck you. I'm not running you anymore. Anyway, so that was what was said to vampire. And then I went in and I never ran that shitty dungeon over again. Not even the dungeon. Just the... Dude, the fact that I have to run the quest line every time really sucks, okay? That's why they make so much money off the Crown Store, off that shitty skill line. Anyways, so guys, I hope you guys enjoyed the build. This is the Burning Cloak of Ting. Once again, all you Buddhist and Zen followers out there might get a little kick. Anyways, so yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. It has been battle tested for almost an entire patch, guys. I really like the builds, and I know it's gonna work this patch as well. I just ran it today, and it worked just fine. So don't forget, there will be 2 more builds coming y'all's way. So we have our first one down, so there will be 2 more for a total of 3. And like I said, every patch I do a minimum of 3 builds for you guys, so that way you guys can see what I'm doing and what I'm running as the patch goes on. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching, and as always, yours truly. We'll see you guys out there on the battlefield. So yeah, have fun and enjoy the cloak.